Good evening. Welcome to KIRO in Color, tonight from the Hibulb Cultural Center and Natural History Preserve here on the Tulalip Indian Reservation. I'm Deborah Horn. Welcome back to KIRO in Color from the Hibulb Cultural Center and Natural History Preserve here on the Tulalip Indian Reservation. 5 years ago, Cliff Schmidt walked away from a six-figure high-tech job and stepped into some of the most impoverished areas in the world. Now Monique Minglavin tells us how he created a low-tech invention that has become his life's work.
Tell me how it could be better.
This is what it looks like when you trade in your Microsoft Office for a new window to the world. Cliff Schmidt, former open source software consultant, now spends more time in Ghana than in Redmond. What led him there was a trip to Atlanta years ago.
Randomly came across the grave of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And it was while I was standing there that I thought about the tremendous sacrifice he made and his intense focus on serving his fellow humans. And it suddenly hit me that, just like that, it was really hard that that's what I needed to do.
And so he formed the nonprofit Literacy Bridge and developed their talking book.
It is like my baby.
The baby is an audio computer, like an advanced tape recorder, designed to spread critical information to the poorest regions of the world, where literacy and electricity grace few homes.
So some of the subjects you can listen to are
agriculture, health, literacy, business.
While the talking books are new and curious to families like these in Ghana, what comes out of them is something they can relate to.
Now you're listening to agriculture information. This is an agriculture expert speaking about how to best produce maize, or what we would call corn.
Information gets to the poorest villages in their own language, on their own time, often recorded by their own community leaders. Literacy Bridge has only been distributing the talking books for about 2 years, but positive results came back from Ghana after just one season.
Farmers who use these devices had a 48% increase in crop growth. Can you imagine getting a 48% raise? And so they had a 48% more crops from listening to this, when farmers in the same village without these actually had a 5% drop. It was a bad year weather-wise.
Schmidt dreams of the difference it could also make in a country with an infant mortality rate 10 times higher than ours and a life expectancy 20 years shorter.
They've been helping people learn how to use bed nets to prevent malaria and learn how to recognize when their infants are getting sick and what to do about them.
Literacy Bridge has distributed 500 talking books in 12 countries so far, and they're just getting started. Their goal is to reach 100,000 people within 5 years.
Cliff Schmidt is just back from New York City, where he was invited to join the Clinton Global Initiative, whose reach extends into some 180 countries.